moving on from Dumbo to the big, oh my gosh, big breaking news. Not really breaking anymore. This happened a couple days ago at this point. But breaking news, this part sort of does not directly relate to the topic we're going to be talking about right after this, but AT&T has purchased Time Warner. Now, for those of you who know business, I do not know business. I'm just giving my perspectives, my opinion, as like an outsider. I don't really understand most of this stuff, but AT&T has purchased Time Warner. Now, these are two very, very big companies who have a lot of influence on consumers, a lot of influence on customers. Is that like the same word? Anyways, they have merged together, and I believe this merger has been going on, or has been in the talks for a long time, but recently, I believe just last week, the Supreme Court, I think it was the Supreme Court, judge allowed this to happen with no repercussions, and links to the articles I'm going to be referencing are in the description down below if you want to read along or if you just want a good read. But this does tie into our second main topic, which is Comcast's bid to buy 21st Century Fox right out from under Disney. Now I'm gonna sort of go over the timeline of everything that's sort of happened because it's been a while. December 14th was the first bid that Disney placed to buy 21st Century Fox, so I'm gonna sort of go over the timetable as to what all of this is going on. So December 14th of 2017, I'm sure all of you remember, Disney placed a bid of $52.4 billion to buy out 21st Century Fox. Now, this was the 52.4 billion is in Disney stock, so it's not all cash like we're going to be talking about in just a second. But on May 23rd, just a month ago, Comcast places a bid for $60 billion in all cash, not Comcast stock, not Disney stock, all cash, to buy 21st Century Fox. And then just a couple weeks later, like we just mentioned, AT&T buys Time Warner. Now that sort of factors into this in a very huge way because, like I said, this Comcast or AT&T and Time Warner merger has been in the talks for a while. They've been sort of holding back because they weren't sure if the government was going to let them go through with this deal, because it's sort of basically forming like a monopoly over the entire entertainment industry with AT&T and Time Warner. And now that AT&T was allowed to merge with Time Warner, Comcast is no longer scared of the government interfering with the merger of with 21st Century Fox, since they allowed AT&T to buy Time Warner. So on the 13th, June 13th to be exact, Comcast placed a new bid, $65 billion, which is 19% more than Disney's $52.4 billion. And remember, this is all cash. This is not Comcast stock, not Disney stock, like I mentioned. And in addition to the $65 billion, an additional $2.5 billion will be paid to Fox in case the government breaks the deal up, and an additional $1.5 billion will go to Disney for Fox for breaking the arrangement, since the Disney and Fox deal had already been going on. They were about to close, I believe. They just needed to sign some papers in a few months, I believe. And if Fox backed out of the deal with the Walt Disney Company, they would have to pay a penalty fee, which is the $1.5 billion that Comcast would be willing to pay for if they were to go with Comcast instead of Disney. So total of $70 billion from Comcast to buy 21st Century Fox. Now, just as I thought this couldn't get more entertaining, when I first heard that the Disney company would be attempting to buy out 21st Century Fox, Comcast comes in, throws a curveball, and sort of, or I guess throws a wrench in the whole thing. Gosh, yeah, this is very, exciting to watch. Like I said, Alex and I, we're not business majors. We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Not really a lot of people actually know what's going on behind the scenes, but Disney, I believe Disney is expected to place a second bid to maybe like outbid Fox. We'll see what happens. But Fox, if Fox does end up getting sold to either of these companies, it would break up into a new company called, well, I don't think it'd be called this, but they're calling it, quote, New Fox. And they keep the Fox Television Stations Group, the Fox Broadcasting TV Network, Fox News, Fox Sports, Fox Deportes, and the Big Ten Network. Now, whichever company buys Fox will get 21st Century Fox Television, which produces shows like The Simpsons. And another really big thing you want to point out when talking about this, all three companies combined have a 30% stake in Hulu. Now, whoever ends up going through with the merger will have a controlling share when it comes to Hulu. They'd be able to basically do whatever they want to do with Hulu, change it into their own streaming service, or maybe get rid of Hulu completely. I believe we talked about this a while back when we first announced, or not really announced, when we first talked about Disney buying out 21st Century Fox. But Alex, what are your thoughts on Comcast trying to outbid Disney for 21st Century Fox?
Gosh, I wonder if Disney can really even afford to try to outbid Comcast, because, Disney is working in stock, because as much money as Disney has, they're not as big as Comcast.
Yeah.
In certain ways, and the Disney company, they make a lot of money, but a lot of their shows and attractions and theme parks and stuff like that cost a lot of money. So it's like, Disney has a smaller profit margin than a lot of other companies, and Comcast, is pretty big. And so I don't know, that's the first thing that goes through my mind is, can Disney outbid them? And second of all, what goes through my mind is, does Disney really need Fox? I mean, does it really matter if Disney buys out Fox? I don't think it does. I don't think that Disney really needs Fox that much. I mean, I can't think of any one thing in particular, that Disney will need Fox, except for the rights to distribute movies and things like that. Maybe some movie franchises, things like that. But I can't really, it's interesting to see these two companies now, in bids for 21st Century Fox. It's really interesting. But honestly, I don't know who's going to win this. A lot of people in the comment section are saying that Comcast is going to get it, because they're paying in cash. And I kind of believe that might be true. So I don't know.
I guess as a Disney fan, I'd rather have Disney buy out Fox than Comcast. But I did link the article I'm getting all this from in the chat, and it's also in the description for those of you who want to, I guess, be informed as to what's going on, because this is a very detailed article from The Verge. Big shout out to The Verge, if anyone from them is watching. They're probably not, but big shout out to them for putting this all together for people like us who have no idea what's going on. But yeah, this is a very, very interesting thing to look at as a consumer. I do agree with Alex. I don't think Disney is going to end up getting Fox, since they're not bidding in all cash. Like Alex said, unless Disney bids in all cash, Universal is 100% going to get Fox. Unless, of course, Disney comes back with, maybe they offer something else alongside the $5.4 billion. That would sort of tip Fox towards Disney, but I'm really not sure. Like we said, we don't really know a lot about business, about this kind of stuff, about how it really works overall. But I do think that this is going to be sort of maybe like in textbooks within the next maybe like 15 or 20 years, like business textbooks, about how there was a bidding war from Disney and Comcast to buy 21st Century Fox. So yeah, it is very interesting. I really wish I could understand more of it as to what like the logistics of everything were, because when Disney first announced that they were going to buy Fox, I believe they said it would take almost over a year for the whole thing to go through. But now, since Comcast has placed not one but two bids on Fox, it's going to take even longer. Even if Disney does end up getting Fox, it'll probably take another year and a half, another half a year. But yeah, there are lots of other YouTube videos out there. There is one YouTube video that I got a lot of this information from gosh, I can't remember his name. He makes like movie videos, like Marvel movies. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but it will be linked in the description of this episode. But yeah, we want to know what you guys think about this whole Fox, Disney, Comcast craziness that's going on. Swagford says Comic Book Cast. Not them. I used to be subscribed to them. It's Emergency Awesome is his name. Charlie from Emergency Awesome. I've been subscribed to him for a long time. He makes awesome Marvel videos, DC videos, all that stuff. But I guess the big question, like Alex said, is who needs Fox more than the other? And I don't really know if either of these two companies need Fox, because if you look at it, Comcast, the article I linked has two wonderful images of what Comcast and Disney will both have collectively if one or the other buys Fox. Comcast will have Fandango, MSNBC, NBC, Telemundo, Universal Parks and Resorts, USA Network, Xfinity. I didn't realize Comcast owned Xfinity. That's a really big one. Universal Movies, of course, and they'll also get 20th Century Fox if the deal ends up going through. 20th Century Fox Television, Fox 21 Television Studios, Fox 2000 Pictures, Fox Networks Group. That's couple words to say. Fox, Searchlight Pictures, FX Networks, Sky, I believe this is Star, and a minority share in Hulu. And of course, we all know if Disney ends up, or Disney already has ABC, of course, the Parks and Resorts, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Lucasfilm, ESPN, Marvel, Pixar, Touchstone, along with a few other smaller companies that they own. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, who needs Fox the most? Some people in chat are saying that they both want Fox to expand their library. I guess that'd be the biggest reason these two companies are gonna want to have, or are gonna want to own Fox, because like Alex and I mentioned on the previous episode where we talked about this, when Disney does eventually launch their streaming service, I believe late next year that's gonna happen. Imagine if they were able to put all of the Fox TV shows, movies on that as alongside all the Disney movies and TV shows that they have. It'd be like a real game changer when it comes to streaming services, because not even Hulu or Netflix have a lot of the movies that Disney has, or even a lot of the movies that Fox has, like Deadpool, like I can't name any Fox movies right off the top of my head. I believe Avatar. Yeah, it's all linked in the article. But I am hoping that Disney does get, in the long run, Disney does end up getting Fox, just because of the whole Marvel, X-Men stuff, Fantastic Four stuff. But yeah, that's another part that I don't really understand with the rights to all the superheroes that Fox owns. Because I did see Swagford say a couple days ago in our Discord chat that regardless of who ends up buying Fox, the rights to the Fantastic Four, to the X-Men, would end up going back to Disney. I think he said since they're non-transferable. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or what the deal with that is, but yeah, like we said, very interesting stuff. That's really all we have to say. Very interesting stuff. We don't really know a lot about what's going on, a lot about what's going to happen, but hopefully Disney does end up getting Fox just because we're big Disney fans, and we don't want crummy Comcast, crummy Universal to get their paws, their dirty paws on Fox. We want it all for ourselves.
Yeah.
Alex, any closing thoughts on this topic before we move on? I know it's a sort of big topic, but any closing thoughts?
You know, I think I'd have to agree that in the end, I do want Disney to have Fox, because I think that Disney could do a lot more with it than Comcast would.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned on this bid, see who gets it.
And I do believe all the shareholders are meeting this Wednesday. What day is this Wednesday? The 20th. 20th? The 20th, I believe, is the day they're all meeting. Or maybe it was last Wednesday. I think it's this Wednesday that all the shareholders are meeting to discuss what's going to be happening, because I did read an article that said Fox was going to take Comcast's bid into consideration. They weren't going to just outright ignore it. I mean, how could you outright ignore $65 billion in cash compared to Disney's $5.4 billion in Disney stock? But we will keep you all updated on what ends up happening. We'll throw any news in that happens to pop up within the coming weeks. But yeah, very excited to see where this goes. This makes me want to learn like a lot more about the business side of everything, the business side of Disney and all that stuff. Probably not, because I'm so lazy. But moving on to... Hey there, Mountaineers. Hope you enjoyed this short excerpt from the recent podcast, and if you did, be sure to check out the full episode. The link will be in the description.